Hey guys, Trevor here with Red Lake Patriot. If you're new to the channel, please go hit the subscribe button. It's much appreciated. If you're not new to the channel, welcome back. I appreciate you coming back to watch another video with us. Today in front of you, what I got here is a Bushmaster ACR. It is a gas piston firearm. It's this one in particular, the owner uses this as part of his 3-gun makeup for competitions. It's got a whole bunch of rounds put through it. It's really dirty, really grimy. So we're going to go ahead and do a disassembly video for you so that we can prep it here in the shop to get cleaned up, put through the ultrasonic cleaner. The reassembly video will be made after I clean it, so stay tuned for that one. It'll be a reassembly and lubrication of said firearm. So this gun's pretty cool. It's got a whole bunch of pretty unique characteristics. But before I get into that, as always guys, firearm safety is paramount. It is always going to be number one. Here at Red Lake Patriot, we do not allow ammunition into the shop for safety reasons. So as far as I've already done my visual and physical inspections, so I will just go ahead and for the sake of the video, show you guys weapon is on safe, there's no magazine inserted, and there's no ammunition in the chamber, visually and physically inspected, okay? So going back to characteristics of the firearm, on the buttstock, there is a button right here. There is a button in the same spot on the opposite side. Just pinch that button and it will actually move the stock back and forth to the length that that works for you, that you desire. The stock itself is collapsible, so you just hit the button and then you can just bring it back and lock it back in place. Charging handle is right here. It's got this little rubber polymer nub on there for comfort. Basic safety select, nothing fancy there. It is ambidextrous. You have an ambidextrous mag release, and this button down here, guys, this is actually your bolt catch, bolt release right here. So pull your bolt back, and then you push this up, and it catches the bolt and locks back to the rear for you. That's pretty much it. There's a pretty cool characteristic as far as the barrel that I'll get to once I get to that portion of the disassembly. So we'll just go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and send the bolt home real quick. So as far as the takedown on this gun, guys, there are 4 takedown pins in total. These 3 right here, these are the ones that are going to separate the upper from the lower. This takedown pin right here is going to separate the handguard. Okay, I do want to point out, just in case you guys go to a gun shop and you buy this gun used, or you buy it as a private sale if it's allowed in your state, as a private sale from a friend. In addition to this takedown pin, there is also a screw up here at the front. There is one on both sides. You have to remove that screw before you can take the handguard off, so just something to be aware of. Also, in this video, you will not see me remove this optic, but I will be removing this optic before I put it into the ultrasonic cleaner, so I just want to make note of that. Please do not put optics into an ultrasonic cleaner. If you guys are watching this and you know of a company that makes an optic that allows it to be put into an ultrasonic cleaner, please put it in the comments. I would love to know because I have yet to find one. So that'd be cool. So just go ahead and get started. As far as things that I use, as far as tools, so I don't mar finishes or anything like that, there's this little punch right here from Dawson Precision. It's got a little nylon nub at the front. This is actually built by them to be used on their dovetail sights. But I find it, most tools you can use them for a whole litany of different things. Another thing that you can buy is these nylon punches. You can buy them straight from Brownells in packs of 3. These are awesome. Not going to hurt anything. It's not going to scratch anything. So it'll save you a lot of headache and a lot of concern or worry about you possibly, messing up a gun. So we'll go ahead and get started. Remove these 3 takedown pins right here. 1, 2, 3. Alright, now we have the upper separated from the lower. The one thing I do want to show you on the lower, guys, the trigger, it's just like a basic AR-15 trigger, okay, but it is in a housing block. And then this little nub right here, if you can see that moving, try to get it on the blue background. See a little nub moving? That's your bolt catch, bolt release. Alright, so like I said, it's ambidextrous. ambidextrous magazine release, bolt catch, and safety select. So that's as far as we're going to take this apart. This is as far as you should go for a basic cleaning. For me, because I'm putting it through an ultrasonic cleaner, I will be removing additional parts such as this rubber base plate. That should be it. Yep, just that rubber base plate. Just pay attention. If you are using ultrasonic, please read the manual that came with your machine and pay attention to what you can and cannot put into an ultrasonic cleaner, guys. So that's it for this, like I said. So we can go ahead and set this aside and start working on our upper. So from here on out, like I said, the next thing, this is your 4th takedown pin to remove your handguard. So go ahead and take our nifty little nylon punch here, pop that sucker out, take a little driver and bit, remove these screws. Now as I'm doing this, I've noted in some of my other videos, okay, I got this from a Glock Armors course that I attended a little while back. You don't need to have one of these. The point in me showing this to you is to have something, I don't care if it's freaking Tupperware, have something that you can put your small parts in. It'll save you a lot of headaches. I tell you, if you're working, especially if you don't have a bench or something, a designated area, and you know, hopefully you're not doing it on your living room carpet, but you lose something, you lose this spring, and then you're never going to find it. It's like the sock that goes missing in your dryer or your washing machine. You know, the monster eats it and it's forever gone. So we'll remove this other screw on the opposite side. And now we can carefully remove our handguard. And that's it for that, guys. So you can go ahead and set that aside now. Now for the bolt, I do want to make note of this bolt. Give me a little pin flashlight here. Hopefully you guys can see this. On the inside here, see if I look in my video, can you guys see this? Yep, see that little metal nub right where my light is? Okay, you have to push that metal nub down in order to get your bolt out. I'm going to show you exactly what that does as soon as I remove this. Pull the pin back. Alright. So on the top of your actual carrier, okay, there's a little ledge there. That button that I was showing you on the inside, that is part of your charging handle, right? That is actually a hook, and it is locking onto the top of this carrier, which is what is allowing it to go back and forth and to move with and, you know, and cycle properly. So now that we have this out, I will go ahead and we'll disassemble this. Right here, this is going to be your recoil rod and spring. If you look on the front of your carrier, you see this very thin bar right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Very thin bar. If you look right next to it, there are 2 channels that go further back into the actual housing group, okay? What you want to do, push up and then line it up with that channel, and then you can just pull it straight out, okay? And that's it for that. Now for the rest of the carrier, you have your firing pin spring. This is your retaining pin, your cam pin, and your bolt. The retaining pin right there is actually under spring pressure, so be cautious, be careful when you go to remove this. Okay, I'm going to use a brass punch. I'm going to push down on the spring, push down on the firing pin, and push out carefully on this retaining pin. And it comes straight out. Set aside your small parts. Now you can remove your firing pin and spring. I'm going to take the spring off, and I'll show you why in a second. The one thing I do want to make note of is when we go to reinstall this, pay close attention to how the cam pin is oriented. Okay, see the part that has the cutout, right, is going to be facing you. If you mess it up, it'll let you know, because you're not going to be able to insert the firing pin back into the carrier. So the way that the hole is made in the cam pin, it's made to align with the actual bolt itself. So that will allow you to, and that's the path that the firing pin and fire pin spring goes into. Okay, so you can turn that to the side. Your cam pin will fall straight out. Now you can remove your bolt and set your carrier to the side. That's all you got left to do with that. Now, as far as your bolt, okay, this is your extractor. Right here, if you were to look on the inside, right here is a spring, okay? Underneath of your extractor is your extractor retaining pin. Now, going back to what I said before, here's a tip, okay? Very carefully, you can push your spring. Like I said, the spring is right here. Sometimes you have to push in on that spring, use the tip of your firing pin, and push that extractor retaining pin out, okay? Point of doing this is so that you can, there's your retaining pin. Point of doing this so you can move your extractor and you can clean out under there's a whole bunch of gunk. You want to make sure that you clean out your actual extractor and clean out the inside of your bolt, okay? So those are all the small parts. That is it for your bolt. You're done there. Now moving on to the rest of the gun. Now I told you that this gun, the barrel, has a very unique characteristic. It's pretty cool. Don't mind me, I'm kind of OCD about keeping a clean bench, so bear with me. So now for this gun, so this is actually essentially it's a built-in barrel wrench, okay? You can actually buy conversion kits to change out the caliber of this firearm. Now they are expensive, and when they hit the internet on different websites, they do tend to go out, sell out pretty quick. The one thing I want to caution you on, though, if you do intend on doing that, you also have to keep in mind the additional costs. You might have to buy a different lower, because this is just a composite polymer, and then your actual upper here is aluminum. Okay, so you might have to buy a different lower for it to accept that caliber's magazine, and you might also have to buy a different bolt in order for you to be able to properly shoot that caliber. Okay, so just additional costs that, like, conversion kit. Excuse me. Wow, sounds pretty cool. But nobody thinks of the additional cost until you buy it and like, oh wait, I'm missing stuff. So going back to this, like I said, this is going to be your built-in barrel wrench that's going to allow you to remove the barrel and the gas piston. So if you look at the base of this wrench right here, okay, there is a block with a flat face right here. Right here, okay, there's a half circle. Is it a depressible button? That is what is going to allow you to remove your barrel. So that flat face on this block is going to push in on that half circle, just like that. Now you can pull and unlock your wrench. You'll see here there are grooves here, and that's what locks the barrel in there. Okay. Now there is a specific way as far as inserting when you go to reinstall the barrel, and I'll make note of that in the reassembly and lubrication video after I get this clean. But just bear in mind and pay attention to that. Okay. So now that that's out, we can go ahead and we can remove our barrel. And that is it for the upper, guys. Like I said, optics and whatnot, they'll get taken off before they go into the ultrasonic cleaner, but that is it as far as the upper. Now you're done with this and you can set that aside. Okay. Now for the barrel itself. So another cool thing about this with the gas piston system with the ACR, Bushmaster's ACR, this is the gas selector, okay? So it has a U for unsuppressed, and it has an S for suppressed. So you can actually select what kind of, how it is you're going to fire. If you want to put it, like the owner of this one has an actual mount to put a suppressor on there. You can select if you're going to shoot with a suppressor on there or if you're going to shoot unsuppressed. So just pay attention to that, okay? Now as far as this gas selector, you can just pull this straight out. Just come straight out like that. Now your actual gas piston rod and spring, just push it straight out through your gas block. Okay? And that's it. Now you can separate that and set that aside. And that's it. That is the full disassembly of this firearm. Okay? This is exactly how Bushmaster recommends that you take apart their gun. This is as far as I'm going to take it apart, outside of removing the optics and the rubber base plate before I put it into ultrasonic cleaner. But this is as far as you should go for the everyday cleaner, just to clean it and maintain it. to make sure that it functions properly. So if you guys liked the video, if you guys learned anything, please leave a comment. I always like to see if there's something that I could do better for you guys, or that you guys would like to see in one of my next videos. Please let me know. I appreciate you guys watching this. Stay safe. Have a great, it's Sunday right now, so have a great week. And as always, guys, remember, a clean gun is a happy gun.